Awesome. So, welcome to the finance portion of this course. And I get super jazzed about this stuff because I've got a finance degree. I studied that stuff in college. I love this stuff. So, I'm going to go ahead and provide you a mental model in thinking about financials. And with that, I want to break down a very, very simple idea. And it took me a while to put this together, but at the end of studying finance, this is what I had learned, and it's this: savings in capital increases future income. So I want you to remember this. Savings in capital increases future income. Let's define capital, and then let's define income. There are six types of capital, 5 undisputed. Sixth is a very, very personal subject, and everyone must find that on their own. The first form of capital is intellectual capital. Now, this is something that you can control. You can pack your brain full of knowledge, things like this course, other good sources to improve your intellectual ability and your knowledge. And so, intellectual capital. If you think of someone who has a tremendous amount of savings in intellectual capital, we would call them maybe a doctor, right? Someone who really doesn't have any type of physical capital whatsoever, but they just, all of their knowledge is basically in their mind for the most part. Social capital. So social capital is who you know and how that benefits you. So social capital is knowing, for example, people who can provide you large contracts, or friends that you can network with that have large contracting businesses that become excellent networking partners and you can team up on projects with. So social capital is huge. So savings is social capital, basically by increasing your list of friends through networking events and other things like that, that is going to increase the likelihood of your future income down the road. The third is liquid capital. Everyone's familiar with this. This is dollars. This is actual liquid money that you have in your bank account. And obviously, you're getting to a certain point where you're starting your own business. You've learned how to save a little bit, and you've learned how to store away a nut like a squirrel. And so savings and liquid capital is very, very important, but not necessarily as important as intellectual and social capital. Then fourth, you have physical capital. So these are trucks and machines and mowers and equipment and chainsaws and all that type of stuff. And so the more physical capital that you're able to save and have in your possession, the more likely your future income. Now it'll be up to you and how you want to allocate this physical capital. The fifth is credit capital. So this is your ability to go get some physical shit whenever you want it with a signature. And that you'll build over time. If you're a young guy starting out like I did, that won't be an option for you right off the bat. And using credit in your business is a double-edged sword. So it gives you a lot of benefit. It can also really, really harm you if not used properly. But the fifth one there would be credit capital. So the more that, the larger your ability to obtain credit, the larger your potential future income. And then the last that ties them all together, and it should tie in with your vision mapping, is spiritual capital. So this is, how is everything going to tie together? How are my social connections and my money and my physical stuff, how does that all tie together to create the life that I want to have and then create the impact that I want to have on other people's lives? And so when you tie those 6 forms of capital, the main thing and they work together to create mass value. There's some synergy amongst all 6 forms of capital. So by combining them together, you're going to have more impact. Here's an example. You can have all the physical capital in the world, trains and boats and like massive cruise ships. But if you've got no intellectual capital to put a team to run those trains and boats and freight ships and all that stuff, or you don't know how to run them, or you don't know how to get sales for them, well, like they're just sitting in the water, sitting on the tracks. They're not really doing anything. That's massive physical capital. Here's a great example of awesome social capital. Let's say Richard Branson and you drink beers on Fridays, like all the time. Chances of you increasing your future income down the road are pretty freaking high because you're surrounding yourself with a different group of people. So savings and capital, and those are the 6 forms of capital. So we've got intellectual, social, liquid, physical, credit, and spiritual. So savings in those will increase our future income down the road. Let's break down income. And there are three types of income. You have the monetary liquid income. So that's cash income. Then you have time. So you have the ability to leverage your time to basically buy others' time. Money helps you buy time. And then you have mobility. And so between those three, between cash, time, and mobility, that will allow you to control the W's in life. The who, what, when, where. So it'll allow you to basically figure out where you want to be in 10 years, or 3 years, or at the end of your 1 year. And that will be how you'll measure your income.